Not here.
Nothing to do.
Let's see if that. It's supposed to see that.
Right now. It shouldn't be changing.
There we go.
There we go.
It's very echoey.
It does echo. With John. Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah. Say something.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Just speak up.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So we're gonna have like a little bit of an echo because of the way this is. Whoop, whoop. Good morning. Good morning.
It's a scary guy on the left.
All right. So let's see, what do we have in here? So Stephanie and watching, if we could get a few hellos in chat. We are experiencing like a slight delay, everyone, so bear with it. Because of our close proximity, and also because we're listening and we can hear each other because we are actually in the same studio. Okay, our guest is in the room. So we will bring her up in just a second. What we want to do first is we would like to show one of the videos of our host, of our guest, and then we'll bring her up.
So she's on.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear. Definitely hear the delay. I can't hear the music. I don't hear the music.
Mm-hmm.
Am I supposed to be hearing the sound of the music? I don't hear the music at all. I see it. I can hear myself talking. I hear you clicking, that's it.
So it didn't work?
It's not working. Not for me.
Well, let's go ahead and introduce our guest.
Hey, everybody. We're going to be talking live with Aina from Blackthorne. Let's bring her in. Morning.
Hi, everybody.
Afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon. Hi. I must say that.
Sorry, we're a little bit delayed here.
Issues. Yeah, it seems I have some issues with the sound.
Yeah, we are too.
Can you hear me? Because I hear you with a little delay.
Are we good? Can you hear now? Are you good on your end?
It seems to be better right now. Yeah, thank you.
Are you able to hear?
I can hear.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. 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 So welcome, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to our viewers. So try to make this as least intense as possible, and we'll just have some fun because our website's all about having fun, and that's what we're all about. And give you a few questions here.
Okay, hi guys. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a huge pleasure to be here with you, and I'm happy to see you have one of our CDs. Actually, it's our latest album, so I'm so flattered that you have it.
Yeah, I was very lucky to get it, and it didn't take very long for the shipping, and it's great.
No, the sound is very, very bad. The sound is really bad. Can you please repeat it?
I was just saying that it's a great CD, and it didn't take long at all to arrive.
Hey, did you hear what she said?
I'm not sure I hear you guys. I'm sorry. It's like a huge delay in here. So I can hear you, but I don't understand what you say, actually, because a huge delay. It's not little anymore. It's really huge. But maybe we can make it work anyway.
Right. So what I'll do is just ask you questions, and then I'm going to pause, and then you can answer them, and hopefully we should be able to just get this going.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So could you give us your definition of what symphonic extreme metal is? What that means?
My definition is well. First of all, I would like you to make it clear. You mean hextreme, or you mean extreme? Because it's a huge difference in here.
Hex.
Okay. So saying hextreme or extreme is actually not a big deal, but we prefer to call ourselves hextreme because everything we do is very inspired by witchcraft. Probably you already know that. And extreme metal for me is like is a very good definition because it includes a lot of things actually. And my definition of blackened or black extreme metal is heavy sound, sinister lyrics, and harsh guitars, and the combination between clean vocals and extreme vocals. And clean vocals should be, in my opinion, it should be like, haunting. It must sound evil. It must sound haunting, which is pretty cool for me. Well, that's my definition of what we do, actually. Okay, now I can see you. Great.
You definitely. Now you can see.
Oh, I can see you.
Well, your songs and your albums are definitely haunting, and they definitely bring the listener into a new.
It's a huge compliment. Thank you, because we try hard to sound haunting.
Realm. Sorry.
So, Aina, I added in the description of this live stream all of your social media links, how people can go to your Patreon, how they can check out your Instagram, your Facebook, and how people can get a hold of your latest music. So tell us about this CD that's just released.
Okay, if I got you correctly, you're asking me about this CD, and this is our latest album. It was released in 2015, actually, and right now we're working on the new release. I love this album very, very much. As many artists, I proud this album most. I proud the latest work of ours most, and I can say that this is how we are supposed to sound. It's a digipack, as you can see, and I love everything: the sound, the concept, the artwork. We actually a few weeks ago we have printed another batch because you guys just bought it away, and I'm so happy that people actually love this release. And the next album, it will be very much like this, but of course it will be different. But this album I love so much, and I'm proud of this.
Thank you.
So I want to ask you something about the metal scene in Russia. Here over here in the U.S., it's kind of died down, not because of the pandemic, but basically it was dying before that. We don't have any huge festivals. We don't have a lot of promotion of metal bands like we used to. What's the scene like over there?
Seriously? Because I'm surprised. I thought you guys have the best promotion ever in the USA. Maybe I'm wrong. So when it comes to Russia, lack of promotion is definitely what we face. It's a huge problem, actually, because we have so many really great, really talented bands, but unfortunately, they are just, how to say that, they are locked inside the country. So most people outside of Russia, they just have no idea of how cool these bands are. And if you're interested in this, you can go to Metal Archives, you know, that website. You just browse bands by country, and you will see how many bands we have. There are so many pages, you will be surprised, actually. But I can say that, of course, these days the situation is better. The situation is better because we learn how to promote ourselves. It's not like we have agencies. We have agencies, but not so many of them. So now we're just more experienced, and metal artists are more experienced, so we can try hard and we can make it real to promote our bands outside of Russia. We have so many genres, from glam metal to, I don't know, to, let me say it, the most brutal genre to extreme brutal death metal genres. We have everything, actually. Folk metal bands are a huge thing in Russia. Probably you know that. And I think you guys know Acotath, which is the biggest folk metal band from Russia, folk pagan. So you can imagine how huge this thing in my country.
Yes. So what I was thinking, if we could take a second, I'm going to try to share the video that I talked to you about, the Craven on a Deathless Sin. I'm going to try share screening with audio. I didn't do it correctly earlier, but I'm going to try again. So I'm going to mute John and my mic and see if that works better. And give us just 1 minute to set that up.
It's a huge delay. I'm sorry. I just didn't understand. Okay, I see a music video. Our latest.
Well, I'm not sure if that worked. We tried to fix John's audio, but I'm not sure if that worked either. Are you hearing John?
No, I heard my phone fine. I don't know. And when you took it out, I can't hear anything now.
All right.
So I gotta take this back out.
I think it helped a little, just a little, but it helped.
Yeah. Were you able to hear the music for the video?
Excuse me, can you please repeat?
Were you able to hear the music from the video?
Yes, but it sounded pretty funny because of the delay.
Yeah.
But I heard
I
it,
can't
of
hear
course.
anything she's saying.
Now you can hear it.
No, I can't hear anything. I hear the music.
All right. We're going to change things here. John, come on over
Okay.
here. Put these on
What's happened?
so you can hear me.
Did we
I thought you guys were in different places, actually.
She's talking now.
So just finish the video this way.
Maybe they were. Maybe they have a teleport.
She's talking. So what am I doing? Just talking now?
Yeah, it's just you and her.
It's just me. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, now I can hear you. Sorry, just think we're actually in the same place.
I see.
Sorry, we just had technical difficulties. So I was rocking out to the video. To your point earlier, how I discovered you was actually through suggestions when I was following Growl. I think I pronounced their name right. I'm not sure if you know them or if you've toured with them or done anything with them. And your band came up through that, and I'm like, wow, this looks so awesome. As soon as I checked you guys out, I was like blown away.
Wow, that's cool.
By the just
cool.
This is the kind of music I absolutely love, because this is what it should be. It takes you to the place where the band, the artist wants you to go. It's not like all the cookie cutter stuff that's out there. So I definitely think the US, yes, you're right, has all kinds of promotion, but unfortunately, being a metal fan for so many years, I've seen the decline of promotions, and there's the mainstream bands, but there's no tours, there's no Hellfest, there's no even the Metal Against Corona Fest that you guys were in. There's nothing like that here.
Really?
Really?
I'm surprised. I'm kind of shocked. It just can't believe it. But of course, I believe you. But it's just so strange because here in Russia, we believe that the metal scene is more than alive in the USA.
I think it was more of a life in the 80s and 90s, where metal was everywhere. But now it's far and few between. That's it, in my opinion, and especially a lot of the people that I'm into. And I'm sure I would take some hits for that, but you know, that's just how I feel. As a fan, I want to see great production, and I want to see artists that are really into their work, such as you guys are, and not just something that's just turned out for commercial reasons.
I see. Well, now I know. It's a sad thing, you know. I understand it. Being in Russia, I understand it, of course.
So you've probably been asked this a lot, but what inspired you to form Blackthorne? I'm interested in that. Our audience is interested in that.
If you mean artists, it's hard to say because I started listening to this kind of music at the age of 5, maybe, or even earlier, because my big brother, he was into such bands as Black Sabbath and Kiss and Scorpions and so on. And I really enjoyed this kind of music, and I really loved it. So when my brother founded a band when he was a teenager, I was so impressed by this. So I decided that when I will be big enough, old enough, I will form a band, and I did it. So I can say that my roots, they are back in the days when I listened to Black Sabbath and Kiss and Alice Cooper and so on. When I was a teenager, I started to listen to symphonic metal bands, like, you know, Estonia and probably even Old Nightwish. I love that band so much, and it inspired me to create something like that. But first of all, I wanted to create a band, not because I was inspired by some bands, because I just faced some, how to say that, some big and tragic things in my life, and maybe you read about this, I don't know, but I had a near-death experience, and I was pretty young back then. So after it happened, I just said to myself that life is really short, and if I want to do this, I need to do it right now. But because when I was like 10 or 13, I had an idea to start a band when I will be 30 years old. And now I understand that was the most stupid idea, because 30 years is very late. You should start it as early as possible if you want to do this. So I'm pretty happy that I started the band at the age of 15. And that was the biggest reason I formed the band.
Awesome. So I'm gonna piggyback a little bit on your near-death experience. So have you ever had any, because our channel is dedicated to music, horror movies, paranormal stuff, have you had any paranormal experiences? Ghosts, Bigfoot, anything like that?
Yeah, all the time, actually. It was in my childhood, and it's still happening, because our country is huge. Of course, you know that. And I was born and raised not here in Moscow, where we are based these days. I was born in the northern part of Russia, in Czech Republic. And the thing is that there are not so many people there, but the territory is very, very huge. It's like several European countries, actually. So basically, there are just woods, snow, woods, and not so many people. And when you live outside of big cities, I think that you agree with me. When you live outside of big cities, just you and nature, you face with the supernatural often, really often. It's not like the big cities. But the nature is magic itself. So, of course, when I was a child and a teenager, and I lived back there in my home country, in my lesser motherland, I faced so many strange things. It actually runs in my family.
So ghosts don't scare you or anything like that? You're not like one of those people that are afraid of ghosts or anything?
No, I'm not afraid of ghosts. And it happens. I don't know if you believe me or not, but it happens in Moscow. It happens from time to time, but not that often because the city is huge. There are so many energies in here, so many loud noises, and people just can't see those things living in here. But every time we go to smaller towns or smaller places, I see some things because it's not these countries there, these cities, they're not so big, and they have more free, more feral energy in there.
Yeah, I've seen some of the videos, like when the Travel Channel have videos of paranormal stuff on it, because we follow that a lot, and a lot of times I see some really cool Bigfoot videos from Russia, and they're pretty crazy and they're pretty interesting, and it just like kind of like boom. I mean, we have them over here too, but they're, like you said, the woods out in the middle of nowhere. And some of the videos I've seen, they're pretty wild and really interesting. So, are you a fan of?
We love this.
Sorry, go ahead.
Excuse me, I'm a fan. Oh, I'm a fan of what?
Are you a fan of horror movies? Do you like horror movies? Do you have a favorite?
Yes. I love horror movies. I'm more into old horror movies. I know they sometimes look so silly, but I just love the atmosphere. And one of my favorites horror movie is, of course, Dracula. I mean, that movie, it's 1990 or 95. I don't remember, because the first time I saw it, I was a kid. And I was so impressed with this movie. I'm also a huge fan of Dario Argento, if you know this guy. He filmed some crazy movies, and I'm a big fan of his works. So I'm more into old stuff, but of course I love some new horror movies, and I love some Russian horror movies, especially 90s. Again, old stuff, they are so stupid. They have no special effects, but they have those atmosphere, and I really love the plot and everything about them. And from new movies, when it comes to new movies, I probably would say I'm more into, well, unfortunately here I cannot say that I'm a huge fan of American horror movies. I mean modern stuff. So it's more about European horror movies, I think. The latest movie I have seen, it's I really don't know how did they name it in the USA, because in Russian we have it like a solstice. It's I think, well, maybe it's the movie from the USA. I have no idea. In this case, I would apologize, because I love this movie. It's crazy. The plot is like it happens in Sweden. Maybe you saw this, and they celebrate summer solstice. I think you saw this movie.
I'll have to look that up and see. I'm sure I can find it.
The thing is that in Russia we just saw this movie. It's like solstice, just solstice, and probably in the USA called it differently. That's why I can't I can point to the right movie for you. But it's strange movie. It's weird, and it's pagan, and I love this.
Well, it sounds very interesting. I'll definitely check that out. So I wanted to ask you some stuff about going back to the music again. So when I heard your stuff first, and I hope this is a compliment, but to me, you guys were like a sort of like Cradle of Filth, which is one of my favorite bands. But you guys take me, when I listen to them, I'm kind of taken into one direction. I know what they're trying to portray, a lot of gothic metal, theme metal, especially since what they've evolved into now. But then when I listen to you guys, I take a little bit of that element, but I'm actually more involved. Lyrically, I think you guys are very immersed and intent on telling the story. And I know a lot of bands the riffs are more important than the lyrics. So when you're writing these songs, what comes to mind? What inspires you to write these and to make these?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. It's a huge compliment. Cradlefield is not my most favorite band, but of course I love them. And maybe you know that we were a supporting act for them once, and the guys are so nice, and I love the show. So back to the lyrics. Thank you. I'm glad that you like the lyrics, and I think that you find it interesting because you know, you can see that my English sucks, but when I compose lyrics, I try to how to say it, put my soul into this. And when I write lyrics, I'm inspired by probably by magical stories, by magical books, but it's mostly coming from Russia. So for some people, some foreign people, our lyrics may sound strange or unusual, but it's like different things in Russia. And our lyrics are strongly influenced by Russian black magic. So this is it. This is the biggest reason, probably. And of course, our personal experiences. Is that the thing too?
Yeah, I can tell that you've definitely put a lot into it. Pardon me, put a lot into it. And trust me, you would not want to hear my Russian because I don't speak any Russian, and I wouldn't want to scare anybody with that. So your English is fine. Trust me, it's fine. So
thank you.
I don't know if you can talk about it or want to talk about it, but is there anything you could tell us about the new album that you guys are working on, or want to share about it?
Yeah, of course I want. There are a few things I can actually tell. Right now, we're still at the recording stage, and some fans of ours, they complain like, you guys work so slow. Why so slow? Why does it take so much time? But the thing is that we do so many things at the same time. I mean, we're recording and we're doing all these little things, and of course we are building that financial support because obviously you just can't release an album hoping that a miracle will happen. No. So you need a financial support for this, because I would like to promote our album as wide as possible. I mean, we would like to go, we would like to make a tour with this new album to support it, to spread it, at least in Europe. And so right now we're recording, we've done with drums, and we're busy with guitars now. And soon it will be our bass player that will go to the recording studio. Of course, this time we will work with a choir and with a string quartet. I think it will be very, very nice. It will give a certain atmosphere, very beautiful, very gothic, if I can say it. And the choir, this time it will be just men, no females, just a male choir. We think that it sounds heavier. It's more for us.
You used a choir on one of the other albums too. Was that from Moscow or in the area? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. We recorded a choir on the second album, and the same thing for the third album, which you guys showed me. That's Digipack. It's a choir from Moscow, actually from Moscow Conservatory. We have a huge conservatory, very big, very powerful university here in Moscow.
Awesome. So I'll go a little off. So I want to ask you this, and you don't have to answer it. I saw a couple articles on when I was doing more research into your band, because I like to do that. I like to know about the artist. So a couple articles popped up about you guys, and I think it was on social media, about that you were accused of suicide propaganda for one of your songs. And when I read the lyrics to the song, I really didn't understand why that would pop up as like a flag for that. I mean, it goes along with the lyrics. I don't believe that you were promoting that whatsoever, and I think people just really get to what we call triggered too easily on just about everything these days. So is that something that did that bother you? Has it done anything to impact the band, or is it just there and it's just nothing to worry about?
Right now, things are pretty calm. We just get that notification from the Russian agency, but since then nothing happened, and I hope that things will stay like this. And no, of course, we never intended to promote suicide. And when I wrote the lyrics, I had no such an intention. I'm actually a life lover, and I think that life is a gift. So I would never promote this. Of course, there are reasons to commit a suicide always, but I actually feel sorry for such people. And this is the topic I wouldn't like to touch in the band. So this accusation is such a bullshit, and I'm very happy that so many people, our fans and just metal listeners, metalheads, they just supported us. I'm happy that people understand that this is actually the bullshit. It means nothing, and we never intended to promote suicide. Never.
I didn't think so. And I read the lyrics like 10 times over, and anything out there, even over the years, that would promote that. There's thousands of songs that could be promoting that. But I just think a lot of people in this day and age just get triggered over just about everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to ask you too, were there any artists that inspired you or that you look to that are maybe along the same lines of what you do, that you've worked with or that you were inspired by, or just think in general are cool?
You mean, are there any areas I would like to work in future, or
Sure.
do I have them in general?
Anything.
Well, I'm myself a big fan of mostly male singers, and I would like to work with them. And when it comes to artists, I would say that most of all are classical. So maybe I will work with them in future. At least I will try to build some contacts and just introduce myself to them. And for the bands, we would really like to not just to, how to say that, collaborate, but probably go in touring together. It would be very, very nice. But when it comes to recording, to albums, I can't say that we are so interested right now in collaborating with anyone. Maybe just some big choirs, but no specific artists. I deeply, deeply respect such bands as... but I understand we are quite different, because which probably means we would never have a tour. The thing is that I'm mostly into black and death metal bands, and I think that when show promoters, they try to invite us somewhere, there are so many gothic metal bands or just extreme metal bands, but almost never death or black and death metal bands. So I understand that it's not going to happen, but anyway, I'm a huge fan of such bands as Nile. By the way, they are from States, I think, from California, if I'm correct.
Nile?
Yeah, Nile. I'm a huge fan of them, and I'm a huge fan of Rotting Christ. It's a band from Greece. Amazing guys, amazing band, just what I like. And I really love Cradle of Filth, great band. We're actually our composer. She used to be very inspired by this band. So having a tour together would be so awesome. And actually, so many people say this. They just say that, you two, you would make a great tandem for going touring. So
I'm one of them. I would probably, if the pandemic ever ends, which eventually will, and you guys were touring somewhere over in Europe, I would have to just hop on a plane and see that, because I would love to see that here. Cradle comes over every once in a while, but I had to see them in Toronto. I had to go to Canada to see them a couple of years back. That would be great. Have you guys ever toured the United States?
No, never. It's like our dream, but unfortunately, right now we have so many invitations, but they are from metalheads, which is not enough because there must be a show promoter. You understand this? Fans is a huge power, and we love them so much. But unfortunately, just their desires are not enough right now. But we'd like to come, of course.
Well, we're going to promote you as much as we can over here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You need to be promoted. More people need to know who you are, and just to be able to experience what you guys offer. It's phenomenal.
Thank you.
So I won't keep you any longer. I just wanted to say that we really appreciate you spending time with us, and even with the little glitches that we had. It's really awesome. Looking forward to the new album. And anything you wanted to say in passing?
Of course. First of all, I would like to thank you guys for having me. Despite of this technical issues, I had a great time. Thank you so much. I hope that you enjoy this time too. And I would like to say thank you to everyone who's watching this interview. I hope that you will find our band interesting. So if you're interested, please follow our social networks, net pages, because we post stuff almost every 2-3 days, every week at least. Yep. And stay tuned for more updates about our new album.
All right, well, you have a happy Halloween because it's almost upon us. And thanks again so much for joining us here at Now It's Dark. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Aina.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Yay, John, you did it.
Do you think we did all right? Or?
You did great. Once I got out of the whole thing, you did great. I totally screwed this whole thing up. But I've learned a valuable lesson. I know what to do next time. So we'll be good next time.
Well, this was actually our first ever live stream interview with a metal artist or music artist or anyone like that. But seriously, I'm not patronizing her. You guys, if you're, check out this band. They're amazing. If you're fans of Cradle of Filth, and if you don't know who they are, check them out. The Cradle of Filth's been around forever. In my mind, these guys are the female version of Cradle of Filth. And I'm just going to go right out there and say it. I'm actually digging Blackthorne more than I am Cradle of Filth. We're going to see, they're both going to have new albums coming out this year. So we're going to see what happens. It's interesting to see where Blackthorne is evolving. Would love to see them in the States. And I'm going to stick by my my comments about the US is just not a place for metal. There's tours, yeah, but the pandemic, besides shutting stuff down, though that stuff was dying before. There's a lot of metal fans out here in the United States, and we just can't get the promotion like the pop bands and the auto-tune bands all do. And there needs to be more venues, and there needs to be more places that people can go to see these bands when they're allowed to open up. So guys, definitely check them out, buy their music, support them, follow them on social media.
All the links are in the description.
Yep. And that's about what I got. Yep. Yeah.
So thanks everyone. John, if you want to go up to with that mouse, up in the corner, you see the red box that says End Broadcast.
Yep.
We'll push that and say goodbye.
Bye.